As a woman, as we age, it will happen. The question is when, and could it be earlier than you think? Well, this afternoon we have Dr. Jackie Vannuyen, an OBGYN at ProMedica, with us so we can learn a little bit more about perimenopause. I think we've heard about menopause and night sweats or hot flashes, but perimenopause comes a little bit before that. So what exactly is perimenopause?
Well, let's dial back to menopause. Menopause is defined as 1 year without periods.
Okay.
And on average, that happens around age 51 to 52. But the age range when you can have that final menstrual period is 45 to 54. There's outliers on either side.
Sure.
Women can start having symptoms 7 to 10 years before that. So that's perimenopause. And if you think about doing that math, that's as soon as mid-30s. And there's newer studies that actually show it can be as early as your early 30s.
Wow. So I know within the last few months, as I'm almost 41, everybody knows that, you just start to see some changes with your, that exercise that I used to do or a diet that I used to be on, it's not really working anymore for me, and I'm starting to gain weight in my midsection, things I'm not feeling myself. So what are some of the earliest symptoms, the signs of perimenopause?
Well, to go back to biology, perimenopause is marked by hormone fluctuations, and that's a result of our ovaries aging as our egg count and egg quality decline. When we are born, we have about 1 to 2 million eggs. By the time we're 30, we have 10% of our eggs. By the time we're 40, we have 3% of your eggs. By the time you're 50, you have 0.1% of your eggs. So as that declines, we start to see more changes. And what women will notice sooner, as the earliest sign, is are changes in your period, whether it's shorter cycles, longer cycles, more irregular cycles, heavier bleeding, lighter bleeding, bleeding in between, or even skipping periods. But along with that, you'll have more PMS symptoms. So I feel blank, you fill it in, 1 to 2 weeks, or that during your period. So people will say, I have more breast tenderness, I have bloating, I have fatigue, I have the worst night of sleep, I have more anxiety. And then even when women are still having periods, they can start to have the more traditional menopause symptoms that you mentioned, hot flashes, but it doesn't have to be dripping in sweat. People can just say, I don't need this jacket anymore, sleep troubles, mood stuff, but there's lots of lesser known symptoms that we are not familiar with. Thinning hair, hair loss, ear ringing, more anxiety, more depression, ADHD symptoms, brain fog, muscle pain, joint pain, skin changes, bloating, trouble losing weight, weight gain, body composition changes, lack of sex drive, troubles going to the bathroom.
This is a really long list, doctor.
It's never ending, actually. And the reason is because we have hormone receptors all over our body, regulating every single process. So as our hormones start to fluctuate, everything is affected. So that's why the symptoms of perimenopause sometimes seem like that's not related. But that's why I can't remember the name of my sister and my right armpit smells.
Right on the nose there, right? Exactly. See, all of you feel better now, don't you? Yes, we all feel better. So, okay, what can we do? How do we alleviate some of these symptoms?
Well, I think the first part is education and awareness, and I think that's why I'm here today. Because we don't know enough. We don't talk about it, and not just in the general public, but also in the medical field. In medical school, students get 1 lecture about menopause. In OBGYN residency training, midlife and perimenopause or menopause care is not a core requirement. It's not even a subspecialty. And this is the next half to third of women's lives. So we can't recognize, we can't treat anything that we haven't been taught or that we haven't learned.
Yeah, wow. So I'm just going, okay, well, what do I do about, is there something is there a different way than I'm supposed to be exercising? Is there a different diet approach I should be taking to help the hormones kind of figure it out?
So perimenopause, hormone fluctuations, but it's an inflammatory process. So how can we heal our bodies from this inflammation? And it's through food and nutrition. So that's more fiber, 30 to 40 grams, protein, 1.2 to 1.6 milligrams per kilogram of ideal body weight. Both of those are more than what's usually recommended. A Mediterranean diet, eating that rainbow and variety of foods, nuts, seeds, legumes, an anti-inflammatory diet. That means no caffeine or little caffeine, no alcohol, which is actually a toxin. It increases your risk for breast cancer. And really minimizing processed foods, added sugars, and then trying to live it a little bit and all that.
Okay, so that's, I mean, a good start here, I think, too. And also, we were just briefly mentioning, too, lifting heavier weights, too, in terms of exercise, maybe less cardio, heavier weights.
Correct. So really, dedicated exercise and not cardio, because that's what's marketed for women, because we want to be skinny.
Right.
We live in a terrible society, all right? But we need to become stronger. We need to build muscle to affect our metabolism. Because we're actively losing muscle, we're actively losing bone through this menopause transition.
So lift those heavy weights.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also with care, because women, especially through midlife, are more prone to injury.
Okay, well, this is a great start. I could talk to you about this all day, so we'll have to bring you back and talk about it some more. But Doctor, thank you so much for being here today to open the conversation about this, because we do need to talk about it. Thanks so
For sure.
much. Yep.